Hello and welcome to Ogun State Weekly. I am Henry Ogunjimi.
And I am BC Adebayo.
On today's edition, Governor Ibikunle Amosun charges State Executive Council members on increased voter education against the backdrop of challenging continuous voter registration exercise in the state.
All the achievements of my administration are results of the legacy of exemplary leadership handed down to me from great leaders. Now, those were the words of Governor Ibikunle Amosun when former Vice President Atiku Abubakar paid him a visit in Abeokuta.
And in 30 years of its existence, the Ogun State Properties Investment Corporation says its greatest successes have come in the last 3.5 years, especially with the current administration's drive in revolutionizing housing in the state.
And just before we bring you those details, our special focus for this week spotlights what the Amosun administration is doing to bring potable water to the people of Ogun State. Do enjoy it.
The administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun since inception has left no one in doubt of its commitment to infrastructural development. In a recent town hall meeting with citizens of Ogun State, after his assessment tours, Governor Amosun was able to state his achievements and areas for improvement. In water supply, the state government support has been remarkable.
Once we are able to, all these our new roads, we are changing those big pipe now, so that even the water will run. So we are finished with what we call the primary. We are now doing the secondary. Look at people on the Ijayi axis. They will not have water yet. That's why we are doing this makeshift one for them. Because those big pipes will now have another one that's not as big that will now lead it to their video. Then we now do the tertiary that will now lead to individual houses. So all the main one we are finished on all our roads. And that's why the road can be in place.
Whilst availability of raw water resources ranks amongst the highest challenges to regular water supply in many parts of the world, Ogun State is endowed with a high-yielding water source, complemented with fast-flowing coastal rivers that empties into the lagoons. The most important of these rivers is the Ogun River. The mandate for urban water supply in the state rests squarely on the shoulders of the state-owned Ogun State Water Corporation, with the Ministry of Special Duties being the policy formulation clearinghouse and oversight provider for the sector.
With this present administration, a lot is being pumped into production of water because we have a standard in Ogun State and we believe that health is wealth. So we want to make sure we give the people of Ogun State the best we can.
On a monthly basis, the government spent well over 100 million naira on the production of water. Since the inception of this present government, people of Ogun State will never take anything short of water corporation water.
There are 15 major water works with surface water supply and boreholes, 30 mini water works and 8 micro water works, making a total of 53 water schemes supplying water across the state.
These schemes service up to Oshiele, Laderin, Adigbe, and so many others. Aside from this one, we have Ijebu-Ode water scheme, we have Ishagamu, we have Ota water scheme, we have Ayetoro water scheme, we have Ogere water scheme.
How many altogether in Ogun State?
We have 54 water schemes that we manage.
To provide effective water supply in the state, Governor Amosun has introduced strategies that restructure the corporation. He has infused professionals, modernized operations, and established performance-based management techniques. The main point in these reforms is to sustain the existing water supply situation by meeting the recurrent needs of the corporation, whilst providing essential equipment and emergency rehabilitation of some vital schemes. The water supply situation varies dramatically from town to town in Ogun State, and so does the cost of water. In the state capital, most people get water free from public supply and do not see a need to pay for it.
This tap here never goes off. It's a kind of advantage for people around here that they'll fetch water and they'll do all these kind of things.
The water is very useful to us. I mean, at times I used to think of, even if it is not here, how would we cope? The water is very useful. It's very useful. No, for free. Everything is for free. And it is constant. No, at least in a week, 4 times in a week, and that's very satisfactory.
Actually, it's a public one. It's not meant for a particular house. It's meant for everybody. So nobody is paying any amount of money for it. So you just come down here to fetch the water, then you go. And even many people usually come down here to fetch water. They can bring their cars, they can bring bus, They usually come down just because they know that they will get the water.
This has been a big challenge for the government in maintaining the constant supply of water across the state.
People should also respond or reciprocate in terms of their payment. They should not cut corners.
In the pipeline now, we have meters, water meter, being introduced into some areas. This will tell us exactly how much you are consuming. And on that basis, you'll be billed. We keep on appealing to our consumers to do their own bit. That is, pay up these bills we send to them. And when there are wastages, like burst pipes, to make immediate report.
The social nature of water services and the direct impact on both poverty alleviation and health conditions makes such services a priority area for the government.
If people get good potable water, they will spend less on health issue.
That's one of the major challenges we have, electricity. But in most of the areas, we back it up with generators. And that's how we're able to pump out. Now the capacity is about 160. But for now, we managed to push out 82, which service all our people.
It is therefore acknowledged that a large part of the capital investment is needed for the proper development of the state water sector. Donor nations and international agencies are required to assist in attaining this goal of sustainable water supply across Ogun State. Urban roads, bridges and flyovers across the major towns in the state are part of the hallmarks of Senator Ibikule Amosun in the governance of Ogun State. Towns like Abeokuta, Ijebu-Ode, Ishagam and Songo adorn new faces with the new constructions going on. According to Governor Amosun, these flyovers and roads have started to attract huge economic benefits to the state, facilitating the movement of people and goods, as well as improving quality of lives. This is in compliance with his idea of creating an enabling environment for foreign and local investors to tap the massive human and natural resources that abound in the state.
One key denominator, a catalyst that will drive any economy. The infrastructure must be in place. If you want to attract anybody from anywhere in this world, they come to a place that they cannot even pass, then there's a problem. Nobody will want to come. So we need to open up our place. In fact, that has been the major inhibiting factor that has been depriving us of being an economic giant that we should be. But we thank God today, we are Ogun State.
Apart from the aesthetic values these roads and bridges are bringing to the cities, they are built with drainages, median, walkways, and traffic lights. Where the government of Senator Ibikule Amosun is not rehabilitating old roads, it is constructing new ones. Indeed, Ogun State could be described as a huge construction site. Over 400 kilometers of rural roads have been opened up in the 20 local government areas of the state. This is in addition to other major road projects and already completed 6-lane Itaiko-Sokori-Totoro Road and grade separation flyover bridge at Ibara Roundabout, Abeokuta, which is the first of its kind by any administration in the state.
Since then, we've identified more, and I've said this before at different fora. Even if this administration were to spend 8 years in office, which is the 2 terms that the Constitution allows, we cannot finish the infrastructural requirement in Ogun State. Somebody has to take over from whatever we stop and continue, because you find that the deficit is so much. It's not something that you can finish. You need to have this kind of dedicated focus on infrastructure development for several years. It could take the next 20 years before you bring Ogun State to the level where you now coast, maintain what you have, and maybe have vocational. But then you need to have continuous development this way, maybe for the next another 16 to 20 years with what we've done already. It has to be sustained like that.
The road and the flyover signpost, which is now referred to as the Ogun Standard, is a prototype of its kind, spread all over the state. It is the belief that Ogun Standard roads will be a reference and measurement of the quality of work done elsewhere in the country and beyond. Numerous construction works have generated thousands of jobs for professionals, artisans, suppliers, food vendors, and other related workers. To ensure quality job, His Excellency and his team are on their toes inspecting various road projects, talking with contractors, and meeting with the locals.
By enjoying the road now, the party has already finished, and others that is still under construction. Thank God that he's going to complete it, and we're expecting him to continue more like that.
There is a lot of road construction going on presently, and it's good. At least they're doing something that we're seeing.
Welcome back. Now, all those amenities and road infrastructure and urban renewal cannot stand alone without a properly planned housing development. Shouldering this responsibility is the Ogun State Properties Investment Corporation, which is making the state look attractive to indigents and new settlers alike through the financial and moral backing of the current administration. Established in September 1984, the Ogun State Property and Investment Corporation is now meeting property needs of all categories of people. Upon assumption of office, Governor Amosun initiated a comprehensive review of OPIC's operation. This culminated in a focused reorientation and overhaul of the corporation's operating strategy and institution of new management direction.
You can't be buying cement at a premium and then send the end product at a loss. It's not sustainable. So what we've got to then do is to re-engineer and structure so that we can make our houses very efficient and affordable. And then as we make them affordable and we begin to create a flow, then we can get to the point where we now begin to provide subsidized housing for the general populace, whereby you can actually afford to say, okay, I want to buy myself a 5 million naira house, and I want to buy it within the next 3 years, within the next 4 years. I'm going to work hard, I'm going to save, and then when I get up to a particular point, Gateway Savings will give me a loan, and I can afford to take the house.
And in 3.5 years of his administration, OPIC has been able to consolidate on its vision of driving focused economic growth. This is being achieved through well-planned property development activities and investments.
We're created to open up new areas, new towns. So when you're coming into Ogun State today, if you're coming from the Badagry axis, you're passing through OPIC, you're passing through Agbara. If you're coming from the Lagos axis, you're passing through Isheri, you're passing through an OPIC estate. So what OPIC does is to go to the boundaries, the economic boundaries of the state, and begin to put in pools and poles of attraction. Now, in the past, that was done successfully, even though they didn't provide all the services. But for about a 10-year period, nothing was really going on. But we've now gone back to doing that on an aggressive note now. So we actually have new towns spring up along the Lagos Shagamu Expressway, that's New Marco City. That's a 750-hectare new town development where we're going to create new poles of attraction for economic growth. We also have a new commercial, what we call a commercial city coming up in Isheri, in addition to all the renewal works we're doing in Agbara. Ogun State has some of the highest concentration of rich people in this country. They don't own houses in Ogun State. They own houses in Ikoyi and Banana Island. And then they go to their family house in Ogun State and then they renovate it. But they don't really live there. Why? Because the places are not serviced the way they need them to be serviced.
With these giant strides in Ogun State's urban development, this administration is no doubt writing the name of the state on the sands of time.
And to a bit of politics now. Ahead of the 2015 general elections, Ogun State Governor Ibikule Amosun is enlisting everyone, including members of his cabinet, in educating the electorate to enable them exercise the civic rights at the polls. Governor Amosun told his cabinet to take the campaign back to their communities and ensure the people are informed.
Despite a high turnout of the electorate at different registration points across the 20 local government areas of Ogun State, the exercise seemed to be experiencing some challenges. In Abeokuta, the state capital, residents had to wait hours due to the insufficient capturing machines and other logistics.
With only one machine and their printer is not working at all. Right now, we have over 700 that have registered their name for this exercise. I don't know how we can conclude it with this arrangement that they give us. So we thought if they can give us like 4 to 5 machines, everybody will do it without stress. So this is what we are facing.
Because people too plenty, like like that, the person fit stand like this for sun. But then unless carry the thing where you use, maybe people will take the thing where make them cover person.
At the seat of power, the state governor Ibikule Amosun convenes an extended executive council meeting on the continuous voter registration exercise, where he tasked cabinet members to embark on aggressive public sensitization on the importance of the exercise.
We have about, I think, almost 700 that either have been issued at those that they did not capture. They call them zero polling units. What they are saying was that during the last exercise, either because they said the biometrics were not captured or some irregularities, those who are captured and they do not have any.
Meanwhile, INEC's head of electoral operations, Mr. Samuel Ogunjemilua, has assured residents that the itches are being attended and warns against multiple registration by the electorate.
INEC is giving them that assurance that they will have a hitch-free exercise within the 6 days. Yes, it is very normal that in the first day of such an exercise, a lot of people will be agitated. The anxiety will be there. Everybody will want to do things at a go. Whereas it is not like that. They should join hands with INEC. They should organize themselves. INEC is ready to register as many people that come out to do the registration.
The continuous voter registration exercise is aimed at registering those who had not registered or had relocated or had just attained the right age. And just before we go today, let's bring you details of former President Atiku's visit to Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital.
Atiku Abubakar, GCON.
Nigeria's former vice president's visit to Ogun State got many people speculating. Commending his hosts and his development drive in Ogun State, the Turakin Adamawa makes clear the purpose of his visit.
My life itself started in this state, because my career in the civil service, as you know, started at the border town of Idiroko. So, Your Excellency, as far as I'm concerned, this place is home to me, and the people of this state are my brothers and sisters. But also come to think of it, the man who made it possible for me through the work of God, to have a national, exposure in position of leadership is also from this state. That is my former boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo. I am greatly indebted to him and greatly indebted to the people of this state. I want to use this opportunity to commend your leadership and also to commend the continuation of your leadership to the good people of Ogun State. It is only fair that when such physical transformation is going on, it is only logical and reasonable that an opportunity should be given to that kind of political leadership for that physical transformation to be continued.
Governor Ibikunle Amosun reveals that the secrets of his successful administration are from the legacies handed down by great leaders.
If you see any of those things that you are doing, thank you for your kind words. That is what you, our leaders, that is what you ask us to be doing. Or anybody that's going to represent this party must be ready to serve the people. And that service, you will see us, we are doing. So we will continue to render that service. We will continue to serve our people in our respective states. And I think it is when we do all of those that we will reassure ourselves, even our leaders, our elders that are presenting themselves, that they will not have any issues in people supporting us and making sure that APC will capture, of course, the federal government. We are there elected in 2015 election. So that is our prayers. And we know that, yes, we will do our own bit. Every state must work. And it is when we do things like this that we can boldly say, oh, we are operating from a position of strength. Because our people will see that truly, genuinely, we are working for them. And if they say the morning show the day, if all that we governors are doing, they can at least see that, oh, if all of these their governors are doing, performing well like this, when we now have them at the helm of affairs as the president, they will even probably do more.
With continuous attention beaming on the developments in Ogun State, Governor Amosun can't but continue to drive the state to an enviable destination.
On that note, we draw the curtains on this edition of Ogun State Weekly. Thanks for watching.
Do join us again same time next week for another edition. Bye for now.